This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what did we discuss yesterday? We discussed about the advance payments, right? Advance payments, how can we make the advance payment to the suppliers, and then how can we receive the advance payments from the customers? Okay, so we understood the process is first, if required, you will be creating the down payment request. Okay, once the down payment is there, you will be actually making the advance payments to your suppliers. Then you will receive the invoice, and finally you will clear the down payment with the invoice. Okay, and what is the topic that we are going to discuss today is automatic payment program. Okay, what is automatic payment program? As the name itself tells you very clearly, it is a program which will help you to make the payments to your suppliers automatically. Okay, now what do you mean by automatically? Let's take an example, simple example. Your client is a very big company, okay, and they are getting thousands of invoices on the day-to-day basis. Now, there are again thousands of vendors who are sending you the invoices. Some invoices are relevant to materials, some invoices are relevant to services. Now, if you want to make the payment of these invoices one by one, you definitely need a lot of resources who are going to take care of the payments. And there are chances. Okay, one thing is you need a lot of resources to make the payment. Number two, there are chances that if it is manual, then there are very high chances that the person has missed the due date. Okay, so for example, there was one invoice which needs to be paid on this particular date, and the person who was responsible, he missed that invoice as he had not paid. Okay, then unnecessarily you have to bear the interest charges, you have to pay the penalties, right? And not only the charges, but your reputation. If you're not paying on time, definitely your reputation in the market is also going to be affected. Okay, so we need a system in which, based on the due date, system should automatically capture all those invoices which needs to be paid, and the user will just execute the process. System should be automatically able to pick all those invoices. Maybe one level of approval would be required. Okay, it should not happen that automatically the payment is made and then you realize, oh, I don't want it to pay to this vendor. So what you can do is you can ask the system to bring all those invoices which are due. You will perform one level of authorization and then the payment will be made from your bank account. Even you can send one single file to your bank account and bank will take care of each and every payment instead of you making the payment into the bank one by one, or you are giving the different checks to the vendors. What you can do is you can send the file that this is a file which consists of who is the vendor, how much amount you need to pay. All those details are written. Bank will automatically make the payments to those vendors and they will send the confirmation file to you. Okay, so with this process, your payments will become very smooth, right? That is the whole purpose of this automatic payment program. Okay, so let's take a simple example. I'll take a very common example that the companies normally use to make the salaries to your employees. Okay, again, it is not necessary that you will be using automatic payment program for that, but this example is very relevant. So every month at the 30th or at the 31st, whatever is the last day of the month, you have thousands of employees in your company. You are not going to make a single payment to each and every employee. Otherwise, it will take a complete month to make a payment to thousands of employees, right? So what are you going to do is you will create one invoice. Okay, again, that can be done automatically. You can create one invoice per vendor and it can be for full year also. Okay, and you can tell the system that every month end we need to make the payment of this amount to this particular vendor. So you'll be creating employee as a vendor. This is called as employee as a vendor concept. So each and every employee will be treated as a vendor because he is providing you some services, and at the end of the month you are making the payment to this one. Okay, so whatever is the amount, you will clearly mention that this vendor will be paid with this amount, this amount, this amount. And when you execute automatic payment program, automatically the system will generate the file that would be sent to the bank, and bank will take care of the remaining formalities. Right? So till now, what we have done is we have understood how to do the manual payment. How can we do the manual payment using transaction? In case of suppliers, what are the transaction code to make the payment to the suppliers? Practice is required. Do you remember anyone? So if you don't remember the transaction, what you should do, you should go to AP, document entry, okay, and within document entry, outgoing payment F-53. F-53 is a transaction which allows you to make the payment to the supplier. But the problem is this particular transaction will allow you one vendor at a time. Okay, and you want to make the payment to multiple vendors at the same time. And due to that, what you will do is you will use, again within accounts payables itself, there is folder called as periodic processing. Why it is periodic processing? Because normally you don't run automatic payment program on day-to-day basis. You will be only running once in a week, once in a month, or once in every 15 days. Okay, that is the reason they normally included this as a periodic processing. So if you click on this periodic processing, there is a transaction called as F110, which is payments. And this is the most favorite topic of the interviewers. Whenever you are going for interviews, at least expect the questions on automatic payment program. Very basic, like I don't think any interview will go without asking you the question on automatic payment program. Okay, so you please try to make sure that you understand this topic completely. You are practicing in the system. I will also tell you what are the common questions which are asked in the interviews. Okay, so please make sure that whatever we are discussing today, that is in your mind for whenever you are going for the interviews. Okay, so F110 is a transaction to make the automatic payment program to your vendors. Okay, so run date. Run date means when are you executing this particular automatic payment run. So I am executing today, that is 10th of November 2019. Okay, identification is a unique number. You can provide any unique number. Okay, so for example, if I provide one, so I am making first payment of 10th November 2019. System will not allow you to use one again because this combination is unique. If you want to make the second automatic payment, it should be 2, 3, whatever it is, but it should not be the same identification number, right? So the combination of run date and identification should be unique. Very important question in exam. What makes a unique combination of automatic payment run? The combination of run date and identification number. Okay, then you will go to the parameters. Okay, so before I explain you this one, let me tell you at the higher level what are the things that you need to take care in automatic payment program. In automatic payment program, just remember 4 P's. 4P. Number one is parameter. The first thing that you need to do is you need to enter the parameters. Number two is proposal. Okay, don't worry, I'll tell you what is proposal, what is parameter. So first you do the parameters, then you go for proposal, then you make the actual payment, and then you print. Okay, what exactly means by parameters? Parameters means you need to tell the system whom you want to pay. If it is one vendor, multiple vendors, whatever number of vendors, you need to specify in the parameters. Okay, so let's go to the parameters first. So you can see the first one is parameters. In parameters, I need to specify the posting date. You already know what is posting date. This is the date on which your accounts will get impacted. Documents entered up to date. So for example, I want to make the payment to the vendors for only those invoices which were entered in SAP till last week. Whatever invoices are posted in this last 1 week, I don't want to consider those invoices. So what I can tell the system, okay, don't consider the invoices after 3rd. I want to consider only those invoices which are posted till 3rd of November. Okay, I'll give the example of this. As of now, let me keep it as same thing, 10, 11. So I want to consider all the invoices which are posted till now, right? Here I need to specify the company codes. So even I can make the automatic payment from multiple company codes at the same time. Okay, so my company code is ABCI. Okay, then I need to tell the system what is the payment method, whether I'm making the payment via check or bank transfer or what. Okay, so I need to select the payment method. You can see as of now, check, cash payment, RTGS, bank transfer, these are the options available. So whatever you need to consider, you have to bring it on the left hand side. So let's say I want to do the bank transfer. So I'll bring it on the left hand side, or I can directly enter T here. If I know the payment method, I can directly enter T. Next, posting date. You also need to tell the system when are you going to make the payment next time. Today you are making one payment. When are you going to make the next payment? Why this is important? I'll give you one example. This is invoice number. Okay, this is due date, invoice number and due date and amount. Invoice number 1, invoice number 2, invoice number 3. These are the three invoices which are due. Okay, due date is, for this invoice, the due date is 12th of November 2019. For this invoice, the due date is 18th of November 2019. And for this invoice, the due date is 24th of November 2019. Okay. Amount is, let's say, 1000, 2000, and 3000. When I'm making the payment, I'm making the payment today, 10th of November 2019. Now, is there any due invoice which is due today? No. There is no invoice which is due today. So what do you think? System will not make the payment of any invoice? If we go with the definition, whatever invoices are due, that will be paid. But I can see there is no invoice which is due. Okay. But what I'm telling the system is next payment date is on 20th of November 2019. So I'm going to make the next payment. I'm making the payment today, 10th of November. After 10 days, I'll make the next payment. Okay, so when I'm making the payment today, if I don't consider this invoice, which is due on 12th, which is due on 18th, what will happen? Next time I'll pay on 28th. What will happen till that time? There will be 8 days of interest that I need to pay. So if I'm paying in intervals, if I'm only paying in 10 days, so I don't need to only consider those invoices which are already due. I also need to consider those invoices which are due till the next time when I'm going to make the payment. So according to that definition, system will consider these two invoices in our payment today. Are you getting it? So that is the relevance of field next payment date. It is very important field. It tells the system when are you going to make the next payment, and based on that, whatever invoices are due till that time, system will consider those invoices in today's payment itself. Okay, so based on that, you have to tell the system what is your next payment date. So let's say I'll say 20th 11/2019. Okay, and you need to specify the vendors to whom you want to pay. Now if you want to keep it open, that whatever vendors are there, I don't want to restrict based on vendors, so you can provide 1 to ZZZZZ, which means all the vendors. For this company code, whatever vendors have the payment due before this date, system will automatically make the payment to all these vendors. Clear on this? Okay, so this is where you need to specify the vendors. Now, another important thing, system is also asking you customers. So just remember one thing, this is also one of the very important question. Can I use automatic payment program for customers? What do you think? Can we use automatic payment program for customers? Yes, no? Any answers? In classroom, everybody is saying no. Then why this option is provided?
Yeah, that is what. Yeah, maybe it is possible. That option is there.
Okay. I'll give you two examples where you will understand why it is necessary to pay the customers through automatic payment program. See, customers normally have a debit balance, which means we need to pay, we need to recover the money from the customer. But let's say customer already paid you everything, and then he has given you the credit note because you have not provided the quality material to the customer, and he has given the credit note. So in that case, automatic payment program can be used to make the payments to the customers also. Okay, that is one example. Now, second thing, let's say it is other way around. We don't need to pay to the customer, we need to collect the amount from the customer. Is it in our control to collect the amount from the customer? Can you give me one example in which we decide on when the amount will be collected from the customer? Normally, if I am a customer, whether I need to pay or not, that is my decision, right? But can you give me one example in which without the customer is confirming that I want to make the payment, the money is already can be recovered from the company? Have you taken any loans, EMIs? Credit card also you need to pay. Credit card is not automatically debited. But if you take the example of loan, EMI. So if you taken the loan, are you paying the amount monthly by yourself to the banks? You have given the authority to the bank to deduct the money automatically from your bank account. Right? So in this example, let's say this is a company which is into giving the loans, or maybe you also given some authority to the companies to deduct the money on your behalf, right? So in that case, if the invoice is due, system will automatically deduct from the customer's account. So it is when you're using automatic payment program, it is not only for making the payments, it can be also for receipts from the customers if the bank instructions are with you. Right, so I gave you both the examples. When the customer would be used, either it is having the credit balance, then we need to make the payment to that customer, or if it is having the debit balance, but we have the authority to deduct the money from his bank account. Right, so just remember, this is very important question. Automatic payment program can be done for both customers as well as vendors. Normally 98% of the time we use it for vendors, but practically it is possible to use customers also. Okay, so we will specify the vendors here. So we are telling the system for this company code, whatever are the vendors for which the invoices are due till this date, we want to consider all those invoices and we want to make the payment. Okay, so what you will do is you will save these parameters. So number one is saving the parameters. Now you will get a lot of errors because we are directly trying to do the automatic payment run without doing the configuration. From day one, we are discussing if you want to perform any transaction in SAP, if an end user wants to do anything in SAP, there has to be the consultant's involvement in the background. Have you set up the automatic payment program till now? Yesterday, we have done the configuration SPRO for down payments. Have you done anything for automatic payment program? So first thing is we have to set up the automatic payment program from the configuration. Okay, and that is the reason we are getting this error.
Welcome to Ashraf. Can I ask you? Here, the vendor 1 to ZZZ, but if the vendors are not in a sequence, how can we specify the vendors?
Sorry, Ashraf, you are saying if these vendors are not?
If they are not in a sequence, like 1 to 5, it can be like 1 to 5, 1 to 5, then 7 to 9. Can we specify this here?
Yes. Though I mean to say here that I want to specify all vendors. If you have a particular range, if you already know, okay, I want to pay only to the vendors who are between 1 to 5 range, then you can specify that range also.
If there are like 3 or 4 range, then do we have to create 3 or 4 automatic payment run?
Okay, let me show you. So I will go to this transaction once again because it is throwing error and we cannot proceed with this. So I'll go to parameters. I will enter the company code. Okay, I'll enter the payment method, which is T. This payment rate. Ashraf, can you mute yourself? There is some background noise. Yes, thank you. So now you are saying if I know that which are the vendors I need to pay. So let's take an example in our company itself. So for company code, we are using ABCI. Just a minute. I think I'm using wrong system. We need 800, right?
Yes.
So F110. Okay, this one. parameters, company code, payment method, next payment date, and now I want to restrict it to the vendors that we want, okay, for our company code. So if I do F4 and if I go for all the vendors in company code ABCI, see we have only 2 vendors, okay, and now you can see the range is 1 to 2, 99, 1 to 2. So if I want to consider all those vendors, I'll specify the range that is from this vendor to this vendor. Okay, even if my vendors are not in range, let's say my vendors are 1, 2, then 3 and 5. I don't want to pay to the 4th vendor. In that case, what I can do is I can simply go to this button. First of all, it is throwing some other errors. Okay, we will solve that error. When you click on this, you can write whatever vendors you want. Okay, so you can say 1, 2, 3 and 5. I don't want to make the payment to 4. So it is, the selection is completely up to you. You can specify what vendors you want to take during this processing. Is it clear now, Ashraf?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we will not be able to proceed with this automatic payment run till the time we are not doing the configuration. So how to do the configuration now for automatic payment program? So for automatic payment program, you can go to SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, AR and AP, obviously, again business transactions. Yesterday we already seen, not yesterday, maybe last week we have seen the automatic payment program. Within this, sorry, we have seen the outgoing payments. Within this we discussed manual outgoing payments. Now we are discussing automatic outgoing payments. Okay, so open this. You can see this payment method, bank selection for payment program. Okay, so these are the different steps. One option is you can go one by one to all these configurations. Second option, which is most popular, is use a single transaction called as FBZP. Transaction code is FBZP. This will allow you to do all the configurations from single screen. Okay. Another important question for exam as well as interviews is what are the different steps that you need to configure automatic payment program. So you need to remember these 6 steps. It is very easy to remember. First 2 are related to company code. Okay, where you specify which company codes will allow automatic payment. Second 2 are relevant to payment method, where you specify for automatic payment program which payment methods are supported. Okay, and last 2 are related to bank. From which bank the money will be deducted, from which bank automatic payment program will make the payments. Okay, so 2 for company code, 2 for payment method, 2 for bank. It is very easy to remember in this way. Okay, so for company code, there are all company codes. First one, second is paying company code. So first you make the settings for all company codes for automatic payment program. And second, you make the settings for paying company code, the company code which is actually paying using automatic payment program. Okay, so let's see one by one. If I go to all company codes, make sure that your company code is available here. So if I click on position and go to ABCI, it is not there, which means as of now, our company code will not support automatic payment program. And that is the reason we are getting error at the time of executing F110. Right, so what we need to do is we need to click on new entry. We need to enter our company code, which is ABCI. Okay, and there are a lot of different settings here. Okay, so based on different scenarios, you need to enter the values here. Sending company code, paying company code. So what you can do is this company code, normally most of the company codes will take care of their payments on their own. But there are some clients, what they do is whatever payments would be done from the group company. Okay, so for example, ABC India will receive the invoices, but the payment will be only done from the UK or US, which is a group company. So what you can do is you can say here who is the paying company code for this one. So I can say, okay, whatever invoices are due for ABCI will be paid by ABCU. Or if the company is paying on their own, then I will write the same thing, that is ABCI. So this company is paying their dues by themselves. It is not dependent on others for paying the dues. Right? So if you come across a situation when the customer is saying no, whatever payment should be done automatically, that should be done by the group company. So you have to come here and you have to configure it accordingly. Okay, I will not explain this as of now because there are different scenarios. If I explain this, you will lose the flow of the automatic payment program. But we will come to these points when we understand the automatic payment program as a general overview. Yes, question.
Sending company code ABCI.
Sending company code can be blank or you can write the same ABCI. Sending company code is on whose behalf this paying company code is paying. Sending company code is the invoices belongs to which company, and paying company code means who is paying those invoices. Okay, so if all these three are same, this means there is no third party involved, there is no group company involved, everything is handled by the same company. Right? Tolerance days for payables. How many days normally vendors allow to make the payment after the due date? So normally if you go for the credit card also, if you go for your loans also, they provide 1 or 2 days as a tolerance. Okay, so if you pay, let's say your due date is 10, but if you pay by 12, I will not charge you anything. So that is 2 days of tolerance that you are getting. So you can enter it the tolerance days. So what system will do? I given you this example, right? So if you see this 18th, the invoice is due on 18th, but next payment I am going to make it on 20th, and I have 2 days of tolerance. Then system will not consider this invoice. Why? Because anyways I am paying on 20th. Repeating it. So tolerance means how many additional days are allowed to make the payment without any penalty, without any charges. Right? So tolerance is optional. Normally, most of the customers don't enter anything here. They keep it blank. We don't want to tell the system that there are any tolerances. Okay, and yesterday we discussed about spatial GL indicators. What are the spatial GL indicators? Why do we use the spatial GL indicators? What was yesterday's topic?
Down
It is used
payments.
for down payment.
Advance payments, right? So
Yeah.
yesterday, if you remember, there was one scenario that we discussed. I told you that your procurement department can request that I want to make the payment of this particular down payment to the vendor, right? So they will create the down payment request, which is noted item. What would be the spatial GL indicator of noted item? A is for payment.
F. Yeah.
F, right? So what you can do is you can tell the system that please consider the noted items also. So whenever you are making the automatic payment, system will also consider those requests which are due to be paid to the vendor, right? And you can also tell the system that, okay, consider A also. If you already make some advance payments, adjust those payments with the invoices, right? So here you can specify which spatial GL indicators to be used at the time of automatic payment program. If you don't specify anything, system will only make the payment of normal items. It will not consider any advance payments. It will just make the payment of the normal invoices. Okay, so this is for customer and this is for, this is for vendor and this is for customers. So which customer special GL indicators to be checked, which vendor special GL to be checked, you can specify it here. So as of now, as I told you, I'm keeping it simple. I'm not entering anything here. We will see scenarios one by one. We will come here and we'll see what exactly it is happening when you're making the payment. Okay, so in all company codes, in short, I just told the system that this company is making their payments on their own. No other settings are maintained, right? Just save it. So we are done with step number 1 out of step 6 steps in the automatic payment program configuration. Let's go to the second step, paying company codes. So who is our paying company code? ABCI, which is still not created. So new entry, ABCI. You can tell the system the minimum amount for incoming payment. I'll give you another example. Let's say there is one invoice which is only for 10 rupees or only 10 USD. So do you want to consider that invoice in the automatic payment program, or you want to consider only that invoices which are above 100, above 1000? Okay, so it is up to you. So normally we keep it as 1. So we want to make the payment even if the invoice is 5 rupees, right? So minimum amount for incoming payment, if you are receiving from customer, is 1. Minimum amount for outgoing payment is also 1. Don't worry about this currency, because this currency will automatically change based on the company code. So if I press enter, this will become INR, because this company code currency is INR. Why it is taking in this way? So maybe we need to change it. So this is 1. Okay. These are again additional scenarios which we'll discuss slowly. No need to do anything here. Just click on save. So paying company code is also done. Next one is payment methods. So I want to use bank transfer, T. So first one is payment method in country. Before you use any payment method in your company code, first you need to make sure that that payment method already exists in your country, at your country level. So the company that we created in country IN. Okay, and in India there are already 3 payment methods which are available: check, cash payment, and bank transfer. Okay, so I want to use this T, right? So I don't need to do anything here then, because T is already created. But if I go to my company in the payment method in company code, by default system will not create any payment method. So if I search for ABCI, there is no payment method created till now. So I need to click on new entry, ABCI, right? Payment method, it will only show me those payment methods which are already available for my country. So I'll go for bank transfer. Minimum amount, maximum amount for bank transfer. For each payment method also, you can specify what would be the minimum. I can give you another example: RTGS and NEFT. You know the difference? At least the students who are from India, RTGS and NEFT, these are 2 common ways of making the bank transfers. So I think RTGS is for amount above 2.5 lakh, right? Or 5 lakh. There is some amount limit that you can do the RTGS only if the amount is more than this. And NEFT is common. NEFT you can use for up to any amount. So you can specify the amount limit here, that I'll use bank transfer only when the amount is between this amount to this amount. If there is no such restriction, you can say minimum amount 1, maximum amount 9999, whatever it is. Okay. Whether you are going to use this bank transfers for foreign payments also, for the foreign currency payments also, that you can tick it here. Okay, so for example, if you have an Indian bank account, some bank accounts doesn't allow you to make the foreign currency payments, right? So you can specify here itself whether the foreign currencies are allowed or not. Okay, so enter. Amount is too large, I think. Yeah. Okay, this is, I think someone has activated 3 digits. That is the reason it is showing this, but okay, we are not bothered about this. Just save it. And we are done with the payment method. Now we have the payment method which can be used to make the payments to the vendors. Okay, now most important is whenever you are making the payment, which bank account should be credited? How the system will know that from which bank account I should make the payment? So that is, you need to set up these 2 things. The flow is reversed. You don't need to do this first and then this. You have to do this first and then you can go for bank determination. House banks are the list of banks out of which you will be making the payments. So for example, in your company, if there are 4 bank accounts, one in ICICI, second in Citi, third in maybe MX, or whatever banks you have, so you have to set up all those bank accounts in your SAP system. Okay, so for our company code, we have still not created any bank account. Although we created a GL account, but we have not created any house bank account. For manual payment, we don't need house bank account. But for automatic payment program, also for bank reconciliation, We need a house bank. Okay, so for our company, which is ABCI, if I take you to the house banks, see there is no house bank created as of now. Okay, so let's say I want to create a Citibank. I have a bank account for our company in the Citibank account. So I'll click on new entries. House bank would be Citi. Bank country IN. Bank key is normally you can give whatever description you want, but normally to make it unique, we use the IFSC code. Okay, so for example, Citi 005. Okay, so this is, let's say, the IFSC code which will make it unique, this particular bank account. Okay, when you press enter, system will definitely ask you the address information. So let's create it. Bank name, let's say Citibank Mumbai account. Okay, you can again provide the IFSC code here if you want, or in the bank number. So these fields are general fields which you can use for whatever purpose you want. Okay, so if a customer is saying for every bank account I need to fill this information, you can tell him, okay, this information you can fill it here, other information you can fill it here. Okay, there is no such restriction from SAP. You can use, but whatever you are using, it should be same thing. It should not happen that for one bank account you are entering the IFSC code here and for other one you are entering here. Then if you want to do the reporting, it would be difficult for you because you don't know where the IFSC code is stored, right? So we just created the bank as of now in the system. Have you created a bank account number, saving account, bank account number, this we are not created. So what we need to do is, first we need to create the bank branch. We created the Citibank Mumbai branch as of now. House bank means just a branch. Within the house bank, we can have multiple accounts. We can have one savings account, one current account, one loan account within the same bank, right? So that is called as, within the house bank, there are different bank accounts. Okay, I can create multiple bank accounts. Now, the difference is in SAP S/4HANA, if you want to create the bank accounts, that is only possible via Fiori. If you are using SAP ECC system, this message will not come. In SAP ECC, it will just allow you to add the bank accounts here. Okay, but because we are using SAP S/4HANA system, in SAP S/4HANA system, in order to create a bank account, the only option is you'll be able to create via Fiori. Okay, so how you can do it? You can click on this create bank account and it will automatically take you to the Fiori screen. Okay, let's see. So if I click on this, if you are getting this warning message, you can, there is something wrong. This is a setting which is stopping the system. Let me change the setting. This setting is not relevant to FI, so don't worry about this, because we are using the integrated system and many people are doing many different modules. That is the reason we are getting this error. So this is part of FSCM. Let me go to cash and liquidity management. Okay, and let me deactivate. Okay, so now if I go back to bank accounts and I try to create a new bank account, see, it is taking me to web browser. It is taking me to the Internet Explorer, right? Why? Because Fiori works on the browser. Okay, so I normally prefer to use Google Chrome instead of Internet Explorer. So what I'll do is I'll copy this link and open the Google Chrome here. Okay, although from SAP's point of view, there is no such restriction. You can use any browser, it is up to you. If you are getting this error, just click on advanced and click to proceed to this particular link. Okay, and it will open the SAP Fiori screen for you. It is asking you user ID and password. Whatever user ID password you have, just enter the same user ID password here. and click on log on. Continue. Okay, so this screen will open the Fiori screen to create a new bank account. Okay, so what we want to create? We want to create a new bank account. Let's say we opened the new Citibank account just today itself. So we need to fill that information here. So opening date is today's date. I will just select 10th of November 2019. For which company code? It is for ABCI. Right? Who is the account holder? ABC India Limited. Right? Bank country, India, IN. You can select from the list also. Bank key, we provided what? City 005. So we already created a house bank for this, right? So select this. Currency, we opened the account in INR currency. Account number, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever is your account number. Account description, if you just want to give some description, so this is Citibank savings account. Whatever description you want to give. Account type, this is a new field. This was not available in ECC. In ECC, whenever we were creating the bank account, system was not asking us this bank account is saving bank account or current bank account or loan account. Okay, but now this is a new field. So you can easily say that this is a current account. Okay, and if you want, you can also create your more account types. Okay, normally those are not required, but it is possible. Once you do this, you need to go to the house bank connectivity. And here you need to click on add. Which house bank account we created? CITI, right? And GL account. So what we need to do normally for each and every bank account, we will create a separate GL. Right? So we already have one bank account, which is just common without any description. What I'll do is I'll copy this because most of the properties are going to be same. So what is the next number available within assets? 2006. So this is balance sheet, assets. I will enter this as Citibank savings account. Okay, all other things will remain same and I will just save it. So this new number that we created 2006, we have to assign it here, which means whenever I'll be doing any transactions from Citibank's savings account, if I'm receiving amount, this GL account will become debit. If I'm paying the amount, then this GL account will become credit. Clear? So once you are done with this, just save it. You can see bank account, Citibank savings account has been created. Now if you come back to the same screen, bank accounts, and just refresh here. So if I go to house banks for ABCI, so within ABCI, I have one house bank account, which is Citi. Within this house bank, I have multiple bank accounts. As of now, only one, but I can create multiple. So this is a bank account that we just now created. So although we created it from Fiori, but we are able to see it through the traditional GUI also. Clear? Same way, I'll just try to create one more bank account so that then I'll show you how you can tell the system which bank account to be considered for making the payment. Okay, so I'll click on create bank account again. It will again take me to the same screen. So I'm already in the Google Chrome. What I'll do is I'll come out of this first. Let's go to the general data and I'll try to create a new bank account here. Can you see the option of creating the new bank account? Yes, new. Okay, so opening date, today's date, company code ABCI, account holder is again going to be same, ABC India Limited, bank country is going to be India, bank key would be again city 005. Okay, but this is another account. So INR account number 9876543321. Description, this is Citibank. I think last one we said saving, but we selected current there, which was wrong. So maybe Citi current account. This one would be current account. So last one we will change it to account type as savings. So this should be current. Okay, and in the house bank connectivity, we will assign the same house bank. Okay, which is that Citi, and the GL account should be also different. We only created one GL account, right, for bank. So we will create 2007 also by copying from 2006. Okay, just the difference would be this is current. Now this is just for the example purpose. It is not necessary that you will be creating one saving and one current. Mostly all the accounts that you will be creating for the corporation, they will be current only, but they will be for different purposes, right? So it is not necessary that you are also going to keep saving only, saving or current only when you are actually working on the system. Okay, so 2007, and this 2007, I will assign it here. Clear? Just click on save. So I need to provide different name here. House bank account, first one was Citi, second one I have to change. Let's make it a Citi one, so that there is a different code which is given to two different bank accounts. Okay, and save it. So now I have two bank accounts. One is Citi and second is Citi one. One is saving, other is current. Okay, and I need to tell the system the payments should be made from Citi or Citi one. First priority should be given to what? Second priority should be given to what? Right? Okay, so let's come again back to the bank accounts and just do the refresh here so that we are able to see two bank accounts now. So house banks, ABCI, house banks, and bank accounts. Okay, you can see Citi, Citi one. Clear? So once your bank accounts are created, now you can go here in the bank determination. So what you can tell the system is that for my paying company code, what is our paying company code? ABCI. What would be the ranking order? How my bank will be determined? So new entry, system is asking you for which payment method. You can say for if I'm making the payment through check, then use then use Citi. If I'm making the payment through bank transfers, then use Citi one. So that can be told here. So as of now, we only activated payment method T for our company code. So I'm saying the system that for payment method T, for currency INR, ranking order number 1 should be given to which house bank account? As of now, I only have one house bank. Save it. Number 2, bank accounts. Again, new entry. For house bank, I only have one house bank, which is Citi. For payment method, again T, currency INR. Okay, which account to be considered? You can tell here. So the first preference I want to give it to Citi. Okay, bank sub account. If you do F4 here, which would be the GL account? We created this two. This is for Citi and this is for Citi one.
Yeah.
So 2006. Okay, and if you want to default the business area, this is just for the default purpose. Otherwise, just keep it blank. As of now, just keep it blank. Save it. Okay. You can also enter another line, but system will give the first priority to this one. Okay, and then you go for the available amounts. So this is a place where you need to tell, this is the biggest problem in SAP. Till now, it is not solved. SAP system doesn't know by default how much amount is available in your bank account. Right? So you are telling the system that, okay, first priority you give to the city current account or saving account. Now, how the system will know whether the amount is available in the saving account or not in your bank with the Citibank? That information you need to provide the system manually. Okay, and that is the reason normally companies don't provide this information manually. What they do is they just provide full amount 99999 that our bank account is having sufficient amount. Right? So in my house bank, which is City, within my account City and City 1 both, okay, I have the amount availability in INR. How much? 99999, which means I have sufficient amount. Whatever payments I need to make, I have the sufficient. There are very few companies who on daily basis what they do is they come here before they execute the automatic payment program. They come here and they check the bank balance and they enter that information here that we have this much amount available in the bank. Okay, but most of the companies you will see there they entered this 9999. Okay, so we are telling the system there is enough amount available for this particular bank account. This one was optional. That is the reason I have not touched this. Bank accounts in ours normally we don't use. Again, this one is optional, expenses and charges, but this one value date is important. If you remember, whenever we are doing the manual payment, system is asking us the value date mandatorily, right? And we are entering the same date as today's date. So what you need to do here is for automatic payment programs also, you can tell the system that if I'm making the payment through bank transfer from my house bank, which is City, and from account, which is again City, whatever amount I am paying, is there any time difference? If you are making the payment today, your bank will be affected today also, or after 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. So for example, if you are using check, normally check takes 2 days to clear. So you can enter it 2 here. If it is same number of days, if it is like on the same day, then you will be entering 0 here. Okay, so value date would be same date as of posting date. Okay, just press enter. By default, 0 means blank, and you will be able to save it. So now we are done with most of the configuration which is required in automatic payment program. From the interviews point of view, just remember there are 6 steps. They specifically ask this question. Can you tell me, have you worked on automatic payment program? If you say no, like impression is down there itself. So you need to say, yes, I worked on automatic payment program. Can you tell me what are the steps to configure automatic payment program? So you need to tell there are total 6 steps. Okay, they are divided into 3 groups. First group is for company codes. First is all company code. Second is paying company code. Next 2 are for payment methods. One at the country level, second at the company code level. And third group is bank related. So we create different bank accounts and we determine which bank account would be used to make the payment. Okay, so these are the 6 steps in the automatic payment program configuration. Once your configuration is done, they will ask you, okay, have you executed the automatic payment program? You will say yes. Okay, so what are the steps there? So 4 P's. We enter the parameters. Okay, so this one that I told you. We start with entering the parameters, then we create a proposal, then we create a payment, and then we do the printing. Okay, so I'll tell you. So parameters we were stuck. Let's try to complete the parameters now. So any questions till now?
Hello, Vikram.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, that value date which you mentioned over here. So it is the same value date which we mentioned in the field FS00 while creating that GL.
In FS00, where do we enter the value
Yes,
date?
sir. Can you please open that FS00?
Can you see FS00 screen?
No.
What you are able to see?
Wait. Okay. This is FS00 only. Not
Yes.
in FS. While doing that posting.
Yes, F-53.
F-53 or FB60 something like that for that vendor or something. In that one field, there is a one field called value date.
Yes, yes. When you are making the normal manual payment, at that time you are providing this value date manually. But now what we are understanding is how are you going to make the payment automatically? When you make the
Okay,
payment automatically, you don't have the option of providing the value date, and you want system to automatically calculate the value date. So what we are telling
okay.
the system, value date should be same date. Zero means no difference. Value date should be same as your posting date.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So now in order to execute the automatic payment program, we will use transaction F110. Okay, which I've shown you, you'll be able to find in accounting, financial accounting, AP, periodic processing, and F110. Okay, so just double click on this. So first thing, you will enter the run date identification number. Then you will enter the parameters. In parameters, you will enter the posting date. You want to consider which documents. Okay, maybe before we go for the payments, let's try to create some invoices. Okay, let's try to replicate this scenario so that we understand in detail. So let's take how can I see how many lines are pending for a vendor? Which is a transaction code to see the list of
FBL.
FBL 1N is for vendor line items. If I want to see all the line items open for the particular vendor, let's take Tata as of now. Okay, so there are already some line items which are created. So let's see the due date of this invoices. Okay, so I'll go to change layout, select layout, and I'll select this layout which we created earlier. So there are 3 invoices. Okay, are these invoices? No. 2 are invoices and 1 is credit note. So let's talk about these 2 invoices as of now. First invoice, this one, number 1 is due on 30th of November 2019. And second invoice is due on 3rd of December 2019. Right? So let's say I want to execute the payment on 30th of November. Okay, and the next payment I will do on 2nd of December in next 2 days. Then this should not be considered, right? Because anyways I'm making the payment after 2 days. Right? So I'll take only this invoice as a sample. So what I need to do here is in automatic payment program, I will take this as 30th, that I'm making the payment on the 30th of November. Okay, and I'm making the payment for company code ABCI. Payment method only one is supported, that is T. And next payment date, I'm going to do it on 2nd of December 2019. Right? To whom I want to pay, you can select the list of all the vendors, or you can select one vendor, or you can select multiple vendors by clicking on this button. Here you can just provide the numbers, whatever numbers you want to provide. Okay, so I will provide both the numbers. So I'll say all the invoices for these 2 vendors starting from this and ending with this vendor I want to pay. Right? Once you are done with your parameters, these are the parameters that you entered. Just click on save. Okay, so details have been saved. If you come to the status, it will show you that as of now for this automatic payment run, we have completed only one activity. We just entered the parameters. What is next? After parameters, we need to create a proposal. What do you mean by create a proposal? So we told the system that these are the invoices that we want to consider. Now what system will do? System will go and search for all those invoices which are due, and it will give us the proposal. It will tell us, okay, these are the invoices which can be paid. Then we can decide whether we want to pay those invoices or we want to skip the particular invoice. So first system will create a proposal. After the proposal, if we are happy with the proposal, we will make the payment. If we are not happy with the proposal, we will make some changes and then we will make the payment. Right? So let's create a proposal first. Now, first thing, we need the system to create a proposal for us. So you can see proposal button here. Just click on this proposal button. System is asking you, when should I execute a proposal? You can tell immediately, do it now itself. You can schedule this also. If you are expecting, let's say, as I told you, if you are expecting to pay your employees, and there are thousands of employees, and if I do it now, it will take, let's say, 10-15 minutes to capture all those invoices, all those vendors. So what I can do is, instead of asking him now, I can tell, okay, at the night you schedule a job where all these invoices will be captured, right? But I want it immediately, so press enter. Proposal is running. Just keep on pressing enter. What it is saying, payment proposal has been created. Proposal is already created. Now I want to see the proposal. I want to see which invoices system is able to bring. So I can display the proposal. Click on the display proposal. So it is saying this is the error. Company code do not appear in proposal. That means system is not able to find any single invoice. Now there can be multiple reasons because of that. Because of that, system is not able to capture any invoice. Okay, I'll tell you what are the reasons now. So system is not able to bring any invoice. System is saying, according to the parameters that you entered, I'm not able to find any invoice. The first reason could be we entered the payment method T. This payment method T should be in your invoice. We have not entered any payment method in the invoice. If it is not an invoice, at least it should be in the vendor master. When we create a vendor master, at that time also system asks us, how are you going to make the payment to this vendor? So you can enter the payment method there also, right? If you have not entered that, that is the reason system is not able to pick anything. So what we need to do, either we should go to invoice. So we already opened the invoice here. This invoice we want, right? So double click on change mode. See, as of now, payment method is blank. So change. System will allow you to make the changes to the payment method. It is not allowing. Why?
Because we did not define field status.
We discussed this topic. Once the document is posted, which fields you can change, which fields you cannot change. If you remember that time, we done the configuration that only text fields are allowed to be changed. Other fields are not allowed to be changed. So if I want payment method to be changed, I have to go to that configuration again, and I have to tell the system that even after the document is posted, I want to change this particular field. Okay, so maybe as of now, what I'll do, instead of going to that configuration, I'll create a new invoice. Or second thing I can do is I can change the master data. In the master data, in the vendor master data itself, I can tell the system that what is a normal payment method for this particular vendor. Okay, so that I'll be able to see in vendor role, company code data. Click on the change mode, and you can see here in the payment transactions, there is a field called as payment methods. So if I do F4, there is only one T. I'll bring it to this side. Yeah, outgoing payment, sorry, it is selected. So T and save it. Something wrong, although it is changed. Let's see if it is changed or not. So if I go to BP again, is it saved or no? I don't think so. Let's try again, T and then save. Something wrong. This is a problem with the test systems. Okay, better, let's create a new invoice. So I'll go to FB60. Okay, who is our vendor? This is our vendor. Let's say this is our invoice date. This is our reference. Okay, whatever amount you want, whatever expense. And the cost center. Is it our company code first of all? Yes. Okay, so if I go to the payments, due date is on 14th of Jan. Let's make it immediately. Okay, so due on today itself. Save it. We have not entered the payment method again.
No, we have.
Payment method.
Yes. T.
Okay, it is defaulted already. Yeah,
Yeah, by
maybe from
default.
Instagram it is defaulted. Let's see. Document display. Yes, it is defaulted. So payment method T, but it is payment block. Again, it will throw another error now. But that is also very important to know. So let's see now. But the proposal is already created, right? We already created a proposal, although it is not picking anything. But can we process this automatic payment program, or we have to create new one?
You can edit.
We can. No, edit proposal is different thing. We want to create a proposal again. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to delete the proposal which is already created. So you can go to edit, proposal, and there is option to delete. Should the proposal be deleted? We will say yes. Okay, so you can see there is no more proposal. Okay, so let's execute the proposal once again. Enter, enter, enter. So proposal has been created. Again, in order to display the proposal, click on this button. Now at least system is able to pick something. What system has picked? If you double click on this, it will tell you the invoice. Which invoice is picked? So this is the one that we just now posted, right?
Yes.
Okay, what was the due date for this invoice? It was today itself, and that is the reason system has picked. Right? It is asking us to make the payment of 10,000. Right? But the problem is it is still showing rate sign. Rate sign means what? So although system is able to pick this, but still there is some problem. What is the problem? So double click on this, double click on the line, and it will tell you what is the problem. See, the problem is item is blocked for the payment. Is it correct? Yes, item is really blocked. So what we need to do, you can see payment block. That is the reason system is not able to process this invoice. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to unblock that, and then only system will be able to make the payment. If you remember, I told you last time, what do you mean by blocking the payment? Let's say there is some vendor who has given us wrong material, or maybe he has given us a defective material, and we want to make sure that mistakenly also this vendor invoice should not be paid. So we can go to the invoice, we can block that particular invoice for payment. Okay, and we will negotiate with the vendor whatever price we have negotiated, but at the same time, when anyone is making the payment automatically or even manually, system will clearly tell him that this invoice is blocked for payment. First you unblock the invoice and then you make the payment, right? So what we need to do is we need to unblock this invoice if we want to proceed with the payment. Okay, so again, what we need to do is if you want to unblock, we should have the access to change it. Are you able to correlate the topics now, whatever we discussed earlier? So if I go to FB03, this is the invoice that we posted. Okay, and if I double click on this, this is blocked. If I want to change it, oh, it is allowing now. So maybe some other thing was stopping us. So payment block we can remove, save. So now system is able to, system should be able to make the payment because payment is no more blocked, invoice is no more blocked. But again, the problem is we already executed the proposal. We cannot change the proposal after it is created. So the only option is delete the proposal. So edit, proposal, delete. Okay, and we need to execute the proposal once again. So till the time you are not happy with the proposal, you will keep on doing these things. Normally, when you are working on the project, the end user is not going to do it again and again because he has already set up whatever things needs to be done, right? So enter payment proposal has been created. You can go to the display proposal. It is still ready. So although payment is unblocked, maybe there is some other reason which is stopping. Let's see what is that reason. So double click on this. Double click on this invoice. No valid payment method found. System is still not able to find the payment method. Okay, I'll tell you what to do in this case. There is something wrong. This is the kind of issues that you will get in the support project. When you are working on the support project, end user will try to make the payment. There will be something wrong and he will just send you the screenshot that I'm not able to make the payment. You have to see what is wrong, what user is doing wrong, or what configuration is wrong, or maybe everything is correct but the user doesn't know that this is a standard procedure. So you need to give him the solution, right? So how are you going to find what is wrong? Instead of display proposal, try to change it. So edit proposal. One is display proposal, second is edit proposal. If I go to edit proposal, just press enter. Okay, double click on this, double click on this, and now see if you are in the change mode, whatever error you are getting, try to click on reallocate. Just click on this reallocate. So payment method is T, which is correct. House bank, which house bank we want to use? We want to use city, and we want to use account also as city. Okay, try to press enter. See what error it is giving. Customer or vendor does not have suitable bank details for payment method T. You are trying to make the payment to the vendor using bank transfer. Do you have the bank account number of the vendor?
No, we cannot.
If you want to do the bank transfer, we definitely need the bank accounts of the vendor, right? How can you do the bank transfer otherwise? So system is verifying that the bank accounts are available in the vendor master or not. So before you use bank transfer, you have to go to the vendor master data, which is transaction BP. Okay, and here there is a separate, normally in the general tab, there is a payment transaction. This is where you need to enter the bank details of your vendor. Okay, this is the place where you'll be entering the bank details of your vendor. So country, IN, bank key, let's assume he's also having, or maybe you can select any one of this. So in India, we have this many accounts created, Citibank, HSBC, SBI. You can also create your own. Okay, so let's say this particular vendor has a bank account in the same bank, which is Citi. Okay, and what is the bank account number? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. Okay, enter and save. I think there is something wrong with the changes in the vendor master. Let's try it once again, otherwise we will see what to do. So BP is not allowing us to change. Company code would be ABC1, and I want to change the payment transactions. ABCI, sorry. Let's try once again. Okay, let's try to create a separate vendor altogether with all this information. Right, so I'll create a new organization, BP grouping. Which BP grouping we created? ABC1, right? So ABC1 company, let's say this is test, and I'm creating this as a vendor. Which role I should select? FLVN00. Create. Okay, I'm just entering the mandatory fields. You already know how to create a business partner. So I'll go to the payment transactions now and enter this bank details for this vendor. Then I'll go to company code. In company code, I will enter ABCI, enter. Why it is showing external? Okay, maybe it is taking the same number, right? We ticked on the same number. So reconciliation account we created, I think, was 1000. And in payment transactions, I want to also provide the payment terms and payment method. Where is that? Yes, here. T. Okay, let's try to save it now. So we can use this vendor. I'll just quickly create one invoice for this vendor and we will see if everything works fine. So FB60, invoice vendor number 21. Whatever is the invoice date doesn't matter. This amount, this expense, okay, and this cost center. Let's try to save it. Where is the due date? Today itself. Yes, perfect. Okay, so I'll go to F110 to make the
I think payment method is not selected.
payment method.
No, we already created.
Should be defaulted. Let's see.
Yeah, it should be by default, but it's not there.
Let's see. It is not defaulted. Okay, but anyways, even if the payment method is not an invoice, system will try to pick the payment method from the master data. So either in the master data or in the invoice, it should be entered. Okay, so let's see. Even if it is not here, system will automatically, this means that system is always going to take the payment method from the master data. Okay, so let's see. So now if I go for F110, okay, for making the automatic payment program, I will not touch the payment run which we were using. I'll create another one, which is 2. Okay, I'll go to parameters. This is our company code. This is our payment method, and this is our next payment date. Vendor, I will keep only this single vendor as of now, just to show you this process. Okay, and then save the parameters. Once the parameters are saved, I can generate the proposal. So start immediately, enter. Proposal is running. Proposal has been created. If I want to display the proposal, now you can see it is green, which means system will be able to make the payment without any problem. Right? If you double click, it will clearly tell you which invoice this invoice will be paid. Okay, and if you double click, it will clearly tell you from which bank account it would be paid. I think that would be available here in the last screen. If you go to the right side, you can see it is being paid from Citibank account based on our bank determination. Right? So if you are happy with proposal, okay, if your proposal is proper, if your proposal seems to be okay, you will go ahead with payment. If your proposal is not okay, you will keep on editing the proposal. Right? If your proposal is fine, let's go for payment. How are you going to do the payment now? So in automatic payment program itself, after the payment proposal has been created, there is something called as payment run. So click on payment run. Again, click on start immediately. Press enter. Payment run is running. Press enter. Payment run has been carried out. Posting orders 1 generated, 1 completed. What does it mean? It means that 1 payment is already made. How can you see which payment is made? So you can go to edit, payment, payment list. Payment list will give you the list of all those payments which are made. You can see this is a document number which is generated. If you double click on this, see this document, so this invoice which was 10,000 has been cleared. If you double click on this line and go to overview, so test vendor has been debited and Citibank saving account has been credited. Okay, and payment method, sorry, document type. What is the normal document type when we were using manual payment for vendors? It was KZ. KR was for invoice and KZ for payment. But when you are making the automatic payment, document type is ZP. Okay, and this also can be configured in automatic payment program. So if you remember the transaction code FBZP to configure the automatic payment program, if you go here and go to the payment methods in company code for bank transfer, or maybe in payment method in country, let's see where exactly it is determined from. See here, document type for payment. So if I change it to KZ, so for even automatic payment programs, if you are using this payment method, system will generate document type KZ itself. Okay, so once the payment is made, the last step is, what are you going to do out of this payment? You are going to print this file and send it to the bank, because in your system payment is made, but you also want to make sure that bank is also making the payment to the vendors, right? In your system you said, okay, I paid, but it should go to the bank also, right? So that file from your system to bank will be sent when you say the print. Okay, so next step is you will go for printing the file. So come out of this and click on printout. Okay, now printout. For printout, you need to go to this printout and data medium, and here you need to create various different forms. Okay, so each bank will ask you a particular format to send. Okay, even in, let's say in India itself, there are more than 25-30 banks, even more than that, right? So based on who is the bank, whom you are sending, they will send you the format that we want, that whenever you want to make the payment to your vendor, send us the information in this format. Now for SAP, it is not practically possible to provide all those formats. And that is the reason for printing, normally we need ABAP help. ABAP is technical help. They will create the forms for us. So normally you will assign those created Z forms. They will start from Z. That needs to be submitted to the bank. Okay, so just for example, I'll just show you if there is any standard form available. So let's try to use this. I'm not sure whether it will work. Let's go for printout immediately. Okay, replace the question with 1 or something. Okay, so print has been scheduled. If the print is scheduled, you can go to SP01, which is spool. Okay, don't need to worry if you don't remember as of now. There are a lot of things which you need to remember. No, it is not coming. So just don't worry about print, because print 99.99% of the time, print is the activity that needs to be handled by a bank. Okay, but still I will show you one more thing. There is something called as a data medium workbench. Okay, but that is not very important thing to know as a beginner. Okay, definitely some of you who already have some good experience into SAP, for you we will explain that DME file, how to create it and all. But as of now, I don't want to introduce, because I just want to make sure that you understand the functional topics. Okay, what is automatic payment program? Because DME requires a lot of technical stuff from ABAP. Okay, so just remember, automatic payment run consists of 4 P's. First, you enter the parameters. In the parameters, you specify whom are you going to pay, which invoices are you going to pay, which payment methods are you going to consider, right? Based on the parameters, you will execute the proposal. In the proposal, system will try to find all those invoices which are due. If you are happy with the proposal, you will go for payment. If you are not happy with the proposal, you will edit the proposal till the time you are satisfied with it. Okay, and then you will go for the payment. Once you make the payment, accounting document will be created in SAP system, but same information should go to bank, so that you do via print. Not only to bank, Printing will be also to tell the vendor that we have make the payment, right? So when you print, this file should also go to the vendor that we already made the payment and you will receive this amount shortly. Right? So these are the 4 steps that you have in the payment run. For the automatic payment configuration, there are 6 steps which are divided into 3 groups. Okay, what are the 3 groups? 2 for company code, 2 for payment method, and 2 for bank. Alright, all company code, paying company code, payment method for country, payment method for company code, creating the house bank, and determining the house bank. Okay, any questions?
Vendor also getting payment notification.
Vendor also, when you print, as I told you, print includes the notification to bank and it can also include the notification to the vendor.
This also do the
Yeah, so what format you want to send, that will be done by the web team. If you are going for the standard format, there are some formats which are available in SAP, but most probably companies will like to give their own format.
Hello, Vikram.
Yes, Sadik.
Yeah, actually, I have a question. In APP run, we select the vendors or without a select a vendor. So we cannot make the payment on the basis of document number.
Okay, you want to make the payment based on the document number. So that is also possible. Let me show you. So if I go to F110, now what we have entered in the parameters, we told that we want to make the payment to this vendor, all the invoices. But if I want to tell the system that, okay, not all the invoices, only invoice numbers that I'm providing you, only the document numbers that I'm providing you, then in addition to the vendors, there is something called as free selection. So here you can go and here you can say that, okay, I only want to make the payment of document where the document number is this one value. Okay, let me show you. So we will proceed with one again. Okay, so we just created a proposal. We are not happy with the proposal. I'm deleting it. Okay, and now these are the parameters. But in addition to this, I also want to tell the system that I only want to make the payment of a particular document or a particular field. Okay, so for example, I want to tell the system that I only want to make the payment for those line items where the assignment field has a particular value or a document number has a particular value. So what is the value of my document number? I think 19 and ending with 8, right? So if I go for FBL 1N, right? So for this particular vendor, there are multiple line items, but I only want to make the payment of this one. I want to restrict to this document number, or I want to restrict to document type KR, or I want to restrict to the whatever field you select. But I want to tell the system that don't consider all the invoices. Consider only those invoices where the value is this one. Okay, so I can copy this. Okay, and paste it here. So system will only consider those invoices where this condition is matching, and you can provide multiple conditions, up to 4 conditions. Right, Sadik, this was your question. You can exclude also. You can say, okay, if you are not clicking on this, then it will only include this one. If you want to include all others except this, then you will click on exclude these values.
Yeah, Vikram, I have one more question. I got it, but let's say in previous financial year, let's say in December of the last, I have a document number with the 10 digit, and this current year we have created for 12 digit number for document number. Okay, so while doing the APP, we took the all the vendor for payment. So last year some documents are pending for payment, which is a 10-digit document number, and now we are picking up for 12-digit document number. So is it possible to pick the all the previous 10-digit document number?
See, first of all, system will not allow you more than 10 digits as a document number.
Yeah,
And
let's say 8
second,
digit and 10 digit. Let's say last year we took 10 digit and this year we took a 10 digit.
no, see, whatever is the digit, that is not a problem. Even if it is one digit, you have to enter one here. So for example, if your document number is one, forget about the number of digits. You will enter the document number one here.
Okay.
So you are telling the system, just pay the invoice for the document number which has a document number one, whatever is the number of digits.
Yeah, and about payment term and payment method. Actually, while we creating the vendor, we assign the payment term and payment method at the time of creating the vendor, and we have one more option at the time of posting the invoice. We can assign payment term and payment method, right? So I think there is one more option. We can assign payment method and term in at a PO level. So at the time of APP, which payment method and term APP is considered? Because I can change at the time of posting invoice also.
Yes. See, just to answer your question, because this particular scenario we will discuss after completing AP, we have one topic called as integration with MM. Okay,
Yeah,
so what will happen in that case is, since you asked this question, let's make it clear. See, there are two ways of creating the invoice. One is FB60. This is a FI invoice without any link to PO, without any link to MM module. Okay, so when you are using FB60 transaction or any other transaction, it is not necessary FB60. There are multiple transactions that you can use. Normally we use FB60 for FI invoice. So payment terms will be copied from vendor master. Now in vendor master also, if you go to the vendor master, there are two places where you can enter the payment term. Okay, one is this one. This is within company code data. Okay, same way when you extend this vendor for MM, you will be creating FLVN01 role. Even in FL01 role, there is a payment term. So, which means when you are creating the FI invoice, payment term will be copied from vendor master in company code segment, which is FLVN00. Okay, but if you are creating the vendor invoice through MM with respect to PO, so then you will not be using transaction FB60, you will be using transaction Miro. We have still not discussed this, but so what will happen in that case, this is a MM invoice, this is not FI invoice. So payment term again will get copied from vendor master, but instead of FLVN00, it will get copied from FLVN01. Sadik, I think you got the answer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so payment terms are available in FLVN00 also and FLVN01 also. So if, let's say for example, here you are saying 30 days and here you are saying 45 days. So whenever you will be creating FI invoice, system will assume 30 days. But whenever you are creating MM invoice, system will assume 45 days. Okay, so what I'm going to do maybe this week, maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'm going to send you one assignment which you need to complete by end of this week. Okay, there will be one assignment on AP and AR. We completed most of the topics on AP and AR. From AR point of view, we are left with planning and integration topics. So another maybe 3 to 4 sessions will be required on AP and AR to complete everything. Another 2 weeks will be required. But we have done a lot of things. I don't want you to wait till we complete and then do the practice. Whatever we have done till now, I'll send you one assignment. You have to complete that activity on AP and AR. Plus, I will send you list of questions, around 200 questions, which you need to prepare. Okay, and maybe next weekend or we will finalize that. We will have one small assessment. Okay, so that and Like many times when I'm asking you the question and you are completely blank, this is because you are not practicing. This is because you are not going through the books. Okay, so what I'll do is I will send you the list of questions. You need to prepare those questions. If you prepare that now itself, just after the completion of training, you will be able to pass the certification exam. Okay, so there are around 200 questions. I'll make sure that I'm sending you only those questions the topics which we covered till now. I'll not send you unnecessary questions of asset accounting and all. So whatever we completed, AP, AR, GL, enterprise structure, basic things about SAP HANA and S4 HANA. So those questions I'll forward it to you, prepare it, and then we will have a small assessment. Same way, once we complete the entire course, we will have the full assessment for all the questions.
Yeah, Vikram, actually, I am far behind in the practice due to server.
Yes, Sadiq. I think I'll reply on your mail today. Anyone else have any questions?
Vikram, this automatic payment program running in the last step printing, how we will send that notification to the bank and vendor, how it will go, like by mail or
You just
email?
need to, yeah, as I told you, you just need to click on this printout. Okay, so once your payment is done, you need to click on printout. But before printout, as I told you, you need to design the forms. You need to design the variants from your technical team, a web team. Okay, so that variants you have to enter it here. So as I told you, there is another concept of DME which we will discuss. So once we discuss DME and those forms, what will happen is automatically whenever you say print out, system will trigger either the mail or the physical print, which you can send it to the bank and which you can also send it to your vendor to notify them that yes, the payment has been done.
Okay. And one more question, Vikram, that document number wise also we can run the automatic payment program, right? So if we have multiple document numbers, how it will be?
It will generate multiple documents. So whenever you are making the payment, based on how many payments you are making, system will provide you different document numbers. So as of now, it has just created one document. That is the reason it is showing you one document. Otherwise, it will show you one document here, it will show you another document, third document. So it can have hundreds of documents also for one payment run. So it totally depends upon how many payments you are making at once.
Okay.
What you can do is you can try to, maybe the assignment that I'll give you is I will give you at least 10 invoices to post and then make the down payment, make the uh, automatic payment for all those 10 invoices at once. Okay, and then you'll be able to know how the system is creating multiple documents here.
Okay, Vikram. And I sent an email yesterday, Vikram. I'm not able to
Is it
solve that
solved?
problem. Hello?
Yes, is it solved already or not?
No, no, Vikram. I'm not able to do that.
No, but that is very
Yeah, that is
straightforward.
called. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know why.
Okay, I'm
I'm not
showing you.
able to
Just wait a
create the
minute.
tolerances.
No, if you remember when we started making manual payment, system given us the error, and I told you here in business transactions, outgoing payments, again outgoing payment global settings. No, sorry, manual outgoing payments and define tolerance. This is what is missing in your case.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, what is your company code?
LENI.
It is already maintained now. So are you still getting error?
Yes.
Maybe you connected your user. Okay, what is the error?
Say my name. One second. I'll go to.
You are getting this error at F-53.
No, no, FB60.
FB60. Okay.
That one is no amount authorization for customers or vendors in company code LENI.
Okay, just give me a minute. So which vendor you are taking?
Yeah, Cognizant, first one.
Okay, which GL?
Oh, I took wages.
Wages.
Yeah, or rent, anything. Rent.
Okay. Star and cost center. So this is the error, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the problem is even you faced this issue earlier also. You have assigned the user to the user group.
Yeah, I
Last time also,
deleted
if you
those
remember, I told
groups
you delete
already.
that configuration. So it is here in general ledger accounting, business transactions, no, or financial accounting document. Your user is assigned. Which user ID you are
I,
using?
user ID. Yes, user two.
S
Yeah,
user
here it.
2.
Yeah, here it is not there. That one is user two.
Seems okay, but still you are getting error. Let me see what is wrong. So I'll copy from 0001 without any tolerance group. Sorry. See, there is no blank tolerance group. If you remember last time also I told you, there should be one tolerance group with blank.
But the time we changed Vikram, but again, why? How it came? We deleted it, right?
This is no. This one is separate. This one you created here. It is creating confusion. Okay, let's see. If I copy this and keep it blank, tolerance group should be blank. There should be one tolerance line item for your company without tolerance group. So in entry already exists with the same key. It's already there. It is saying.
Yeah, yesterday I deleted these things and I created. I did not create. I think it's coming same message. The keys already exist.
How come it was just showing now? Yeah, you can see this one. 1, 2, 3. Your user ID is not here, right?
Yeah.
Define tolerance group for employees. So company code LENR. There should not be any other entry with tolerance group in your company code. Okay, let's try now. Okay, in the meantime, any other questions? Anyone? Questions? No?
That user is not there actually. Oh,
Okay, let me try to analyze this. I'll come back to you on your mail. I'll
sure.
solve this and I'll tell you how I solved it. Huh?
Okay. Okay, Vikram.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. Bye. Okay,
Bye,
bye all.
everyone.
See you on next Saturday. आज नफीस नहीं था